These are the 2025 three-row SUVs you'll be better off leaving on the car lot. All these models either have seating as stiff as a board or an engine that lacks the power to get you through bumpy roads. Do you want to spend hundreds of dollars bringing your vehicle to the mechanic because it burns oil before you could get to 1,000 miles? This is on top of thousands already being spent on the car itself. Of course not. Don't get stuck with a vehicle that doesn't meet your needs. By the end of this video, you'll know which 2025 three-row SUVs to avoid. Imagine merging onto the highway and you see a gap. You want to pick up your speed to match the speed of the other vehicles to merge into the flow. But when you stump on the gas, your SUV bogs down. It seems your transmission is hesitating to find the right gear. Now, with the gap closing, you have to either cut someone off or wait again. Frustrating, right? The Nissan Pathfinder has a sneaky way of getting you into a crash just by driving it normally. At first glance, this vehicle seems okay. It was made with practicality in mind, but don't be misled. There is nothing special about the Pathfinder performance-wise. In fact, you might find yourself dealing with more issues than you could take. Not only is it slow to shift, which is a safety issue, but customers have also reported that the front seats feel stiff and that the experience is overall sluggish. This is not surprising as the 3.5-liter V6 engine is already behind compared to the other new vehicle models. Plus, when buying a new car, one of your priorities is comfort, right? It will be intensely disappointing if you have bought a Nissan Pathfinder and realize that it's not as comfortable as it appears. No one enjoys a car ride where you can feel every bump and pothole, but that's exactly what it's like inside the Pathfinder. Bumpy roads are an issue because the SUV's ground clearance and suspension struggle even with minor unevenness. Expect an uncomfortable or bumpy ride when you're in a Nissan Pathfinder, but who even buys an SUV expecting that? But the part of the Pathfinder that really feels like you've been ripped off is that although there is a lot of storage space, the overall space is limited. You have a three-row SUV, sure, but the second and third rows can't even fit adults in a way that they'd be comfortable. You could even get overall space with better performance from the likes of the Honda Pilot. The 2025 Infiniti QX80 was supposed to be Infiniti's saving grace. It was supposed to be the vehicle that would help position them as a luxury brand, but instead, it pulled them further into disappointment. The QX80 presents itself as a contender in the full-size luxury SUV segment. Once you see the interior, you may get a sense of warmth and luxury, but don't be fooled by the way it looks. There really is nothing that indicates that it's luxurious. It is an upgrade from the previous model, but there is no distinctiveness in its design. A single look inside is enough to show that it's what they focused on. But for something that was given so much focus, it's underwhelming. If you're after a spacious third row, you won't find that here. It is quite cramped, especially for adults. Legroom is limited and headroom can also be an issue. It's obviously not going to be a comfortable ride if you're planning to bring the whole crew along. If space is a deal breaker, then the Infiniti QX80 should be off the list already. You can really say goodbye to comfort if you buy the Infiniti QX80 because aside from cramped third row, it also suffers from minor but frustrating issues. Customers have reported overly sensitive and finicky turn signals, limited hands-free driving capabilities, and a dashboard that looks cluttered and busy despite being visually appealing. On the surface, these won't seem like deal breakers. But what do you think you'll feel like when you're peacefully driving on the highway and your turn signals start to malfunction? And then it happens again after a couple of weeks. No one wants to be driving to the mechanic almost every month. Of course, you can always spend more to get the option that offers the most advanced safety features and technologies. But the fact that you have to pay extra to unlock the better stuff makes the vehicle not worth it. And quite frankly, it feels like you're being cheated. You can actually get something with similar features for much less, just like the Nissan Armada shares the same platform and powertrain as the QX80. The next vehicle on our list doesn't seem to know what upgrades are. The 2025 Audi Q7 doesn't have anything significant compared to its previous models. This isn't a good sign, especially given the problematic history of the Audi G7. This vehicle isn't exactly known for its reliability. Would you be happy if you paid a premium for a vehicle only to find out months later that you'll be spending even more on constant maintenance? The Audi Q7 is known for engine issues like NOx sensor failure, which greatly reduces engine performance. Squeaky brakes and leaking sunroofs are also very common for this model. Another that is repeatedly reported by previous owners is how fast the vehicle burns oil. These same issues happen again and again, and owners are left at a loss as to how to fix these problems. These many small issues that happen on top of each other overshadow its performance, making it not worth the money you'll spend on it and its maintenance. The Kia Sorento is a less expensive option for those wanting a family-friendly SUV. It's practical because of its fuel efficiency and the ability to go on long drives without the need for constant refueling. However, the 2025 Kia Sorento does not have a lot of changes from its previous models, and that's where the problem arises. The past Kia Sorento models are known to have a lot of reliability issues. It seems like with this particular vehicle, you'll make more trips to the mechanic than out of town. It is very common among Kia Sorento owners to complain about engine problems, particularly those that require them to have an engine rebuild. Engine failure is the worst issue that plagues different Kia Sorento models, but electrical and paint problems are also recurrent issues. If you have a car that constantly has these issues, then what's the point of buying it in the first place? For the 2025 model, it can easily be assumed that it will suffer the same fate. However, outside of the possible recurrent problems from previous Sorento models, the 2025 upgrade has issues of its own. The most glaring one is the limited space in the third row and the even more limited cargo space behind it. For many people looking to buy 3-row SUVs, this can be a deal breaker. The seats are also uncomfortable compared to its competitors, and when on rough pavement, expect your ride to be stiff along with road or wind noise. These things greatly affect the comfortability of driving or riding in the car, which makes the whole experience less enjoyable. You'd be better off buying a Hyundai Santa Fe instead, which offers a lot of space and a more comfortable ride. Like most cars on this list, you'll start reconsidering your purchase if you find yourself seemingly spending more on the maintenance than on the car itself. You'll start to wonder if the price you paid is even worth it. This is also the case for the next car on our list. The Jeep Compass suffers the same fate as one of the worst rated SUVs, the Volkswagen Taos. Like the Volkswagen Taos, the 2025 Jeep Compass is becoming known for its poor reliability. The Compass is one of the lowest rated 3-row SUVs, mostly because of its bad value for money and poor resale value. At least for other vehicles, even if they aren't as comfortable, they would have a good resale value. If you're after functionality and reliability for your SUV, it's definitely better to avoid the Jeep Compass. Not only is it high maintenance, but it has constant issues that can make your drive less pleasant. The unsatisfactory build quality can be likened to the Tesla Model X, wherein many customers are saying that it seems cheaply made and overall underwhelming. For a car with a standard engine and driving experience, the Jeep Compass definitely has a price tag that can be quite surprising. You may be better off buying its competitors that offer the same things for a lower price, just like the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. But as if rubbing salt in the wound, many customers have also complained that the customer service doesn't help solve problems even a little bit. When you have complaints, it can be frustrating to deal with them, especially when there are cases wherein concerning issues are said to be normal. What is a car style worth if there's no functionality at all? You're cruising down the highway with a sleek vehicle, but everything else about it fails to deliver. That's the 2025 Genesis GV80 for you. When a car focuses more on style than anything else, it can be a costly mistake, so don't be fooled by how luxurious the GV80 looks. It's the kind of car that would entice you with its appearance, but beneath its stylish exterior, it seems unsure of what it wants to give its customers. It's a 3-row SUV that's trying to be sporty but falls short of becoming both. Not only does it not look completely sporty, but it fails to deliver a good driving experience, which really takes away from its overall value. It seems like the Genesis GV80's ultimate enemy is space. It's not spacious at all. The third row isn't meant for adults and can only fit small kids, which may limit its practicality. It also has a small cargo, which is a major drawback. It's a big no-no for those looking for family-friendly SUVs. The GV80 is also known for having constant sensor issues. It is a minor issue and it doesn't seem frustrating, but it does constantly come back after a few months, so by the time it's your third month with sensor issues, you'd start to feel disappointed since it's only adding to your spending on maintenance. If it happens so often, it can also affect your overall experience, which isn't ideal if you spend hard-earned money on it. When you pay a premium price for a vehicle, you expect it to deliver a certain level of quality. But despite the stylish and improved exterior and interior of the 2025 Ford Explorer, it has fallen short of many expectations. Critics have said that the Ford Explorer is much like an airport rental car, which leads us to the idea that it's not worth the price. Have you ever heard of someone raving about an airport rental car? Exactly. It only delivers the basics but is scarce on any polished features that the best three-row SUVs like the Volkswagen Tiguan and the BMW X7 have. You will see that the Ford Explorer boasts its significant tech updates, but it's still not your best option for a three-row SUV given the price because this model still retains most of the issues of the previous iterations, such as transmission and reliability issues. Overall, you may have a standard driving experience which really is just the bare minimum, but it's not one that you would pay that price for. There are other more competitive vehicles that can be bought for the same or even less. The Toyota Highlander is one such example. Want to explore more exciting new cars arriving in 2025? Check out the video showing on your screen now.